Guys, Coach Turco here with champion hitter, state championship hitting at wixsite.com/Coach Turco. Just doing a follow-up video on my on the blog post about two-strike approach just may win you a championship. Cool thing about the two-strike approach, the story I shared in the blog post is absolutely true, man. And actually what I did is I found the videos online and I created a playlist under Pope Baseball on the state championship hitting YouTube channel. So you can go ahead and check that out, man. You'll see my man coming up there. Boom, two-strike, bam! Single right. It was actually up the middle. So the guy ends up tying up the game. We go on to win by extra innings. But there's another really cool two-strike story that we have from this past season. The 2019 season. You know, we came into the season ranked 3rd in the country, and we got all this hype, and we think we're going to be great. We run off a 10-0 record. We're looking good. And all of a sudden, man, we hit a little bit of adversity. You know, hit the skids a little bit. It looked like for a couple of minutes we weren't even going to make the playoffs. At the end of the year, we ended up winning the region, and we get in the first round of the playoffs against a 4 seed. And this team's giving us everything that we can handle. And we ended up going to the Georgia playoffs, do a best-of-3 series. So we're in a game 3 after dropping one of the first 2 games. And we're down 7-0. I'm like, holy crap, this is looking freaking bleak. This is not looking good for us. And so we roar all the way back. We get it to 7-6 last inning. We got a senior up. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. And this guy is a great grinder. He's our leadoff hitter. He's a grinder. This kid just battle. Well, he gets to 2 strikes. Sure enough, lo and behold, guy hits a walk-off single. So I text the guy after the season. We finished state runner-up. Dropped the state championship game. I just wanted to read you the text, however, of what he said. And remember, we're in the first round of the playoffs. Number quote-unquote 3 team in the country. So there's a lot of pressure on there. Like these guys feel the pressure to kind of live up to that hype and not get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs. So the kid says, I text him and I'm going to read it. When you got the walk-off hit versus Creekview, what was your thought process? Do you remember? And I always like to pick my guys' brains because I think it's important. Like, hey, what is it that they were thinking? Can we channel that somehow? Is there a way that we can get our hitters in the future to do that? And he responds, well, the first 2 pitches were terrible calls for strikes, but I thought about not letting that affect me because I can't do anything about that. So I took some deep breaths to clear my head, and then with 2 strikes, all I was thinking about was putting the ball in play and doing whatever I could do to not strike out. And then I just let my 2-strike adjustment do the work. So when it comes down to that, that's awesome for me to know. It's like, hey, the hitter's in that big situation, biggest situation of the season. Season's on this guy's shoulders. He's sitting there, and what he's thinking about is clear his head, 2-strike adjustment, let it do the work. And I think more than anything, what a 2-strike adjustment does, it gives your hitter confidence when he's in that count. It's like, man, we do it so often, so frequently, every day in practice. And by the way, if you're going to do a 2-strike adjustment, I would advise that you should practice it almost daily. And so these kids, our guys, when they get in the game, they have all the confidence in the universe. Because in BP, man, I'm the nastiest BP pitcher they've ever seen. I'm dropping hammers. I got a 6 changeup. Woo! I'm pulling the string, and I'm in there. I'm literally 40 feet away, throwing as hard as I can. I mean, literally, when I wrote in the blog post, be ready for 104 or 64. We try to run it up there at 104. And these guys, I mean, they'll be up there, and we'll tell them, hey, if you have to, you just emergency hack. So they'll be here, just foul it off. I posted an Anthony Rizzo video yesterday, and he actually says that exact thing. Like, when these pitchers throw these nasty pitches, if I can foul it off, I win. We tell our guys that all the time. In the world of pitch counts, in the pitch smart universe now that we're in high school baseball, foul balls are gold, especially with 2 strikes. If our guy can foul off the nastiest pitch, heck, man, he just ran 2 pitches up on that guy's pitch count. We got the foul ball in the next pitch, and then if we foul off another one, then so be it. All of a sudden, we're running the pitch count up and up and up. One of the things that we really noticed when we started stressing 2-strike approach, we probably started really hammering this in maybe 5 or 6 years ago, is that, man, our 8-pitch at-bats have really skyrocketed. And all of a sudden, if you can run up a 10-pitch at-bat, heck, that's a tenth of the pitcher's pitches right there with 1 batter. That's unbelievable. And that really puts us in the driver's seat, especially in a 3-game series in high school where there's not that many solid arms. So we find ourselves a lot of the times battling against the bullpen at the end of the game. But it all started probably, again, like I said, 6 years ago. We started a hashtag PGATO, P-G-A-T-O, Pope Greyhounds are tough outs. And we said, guys, we really, our mantra, our motto, if we're not anything else, we're going to be a tough out, by God. And when those guys come up and the pitchers battle, we're going to grind. So in the next video series, we'll talk about kind of how we teach that, and next blog post and next follow-up video, we'll talk about how we teach that and the techniques we use. But I will say this, the 4th point I was making about 2-strike approach with the on base plus error, that's a stat that I really never paid much attention to, but I wrote in the blog post, In 2016, we were really good. 2017, our team was unbelievable in 2017. We had a 445 on base percentage without errors. With errors, we were only about close to 20 points better, which was off from 2016. In 2017 and 18, I said, well, can we manipulate that stat? Is there a way that we can really pull our on-base plus error way higher than our regular on-base percentage just by hustling? So I was at a Vanderbilt camp working one year, and Coach Corbin kept talking about speed pressure, speed pressure, speed pressure. I'm always taking that to heart. And I'm like, speed pressure, yeah, that's a really cool thing. And speed pressure simply equates to hustle. So we've really been harping on that the last 2 years to see if we could really put speed pressure on the defense. And I believe it worked, because 2018, we reached on 66 errors. Last year we reached on 59 errors. And a lot of that just has to do with putting the ball in play and just beating it out and just really trying to smack a little line drive over the infield's head. Sometimes that's we're a little bit out front and we miss hit it, and it ends up being a ground ball that we just beat out. But those ground balls are huge, man. Those end up being big defining differences in the game. And when we take our 417 on base percentage and we up it into the 446 range just by on base plus error, I mean, that's incredible. So we're gaining 30 points just by beating out, just by putting balls in play and getting on by error. But again, next week I'm going to follow up with a blog post about how we actually teach this, a video as well. And the last thing, just got my little cheat sheet here. Just want to remind you, if you're going to do it, practice it every day. Come up with a way that you're going to practice it. You got to get your guys to buy in. At first, some of our guys really were like, man, I don't know about this two-strike thing. I don't really, this isn't what my summer guy teaches, it's not what my travel guy teaches, not what my swing coach teaches. Why in the world is this guy two-strike approach? What is this bull crap? I don't see the major league hitters doing this. I promise you, if you can get you guys to buy in and you can get your team to kind of embrace a two-strike approach, it is going to pay dividends. It can win you a championship. And at the end of the day, every single season we have to go through a relearning process, man. We have to reacquaint the guys to the two-strike approach and really go over the methodology and kind of go over, this is why we want to do it and this is the philosophy behind it. And it actually does take a while. I would say it takes 10, 15, even 20 games. By the time we get to the playoffs, boom, we're hitting on all cylinders, and the guys are absolutely crushing out two-strike approaches, grinding out at bats, and being that tough out. I appreciate you reading, appreciate you watching the video. Again, this is Coach Turco at Champion Hitter at Twitter, State Championship Hitting at wixsite.com/Coach Turco, State Championship Hitting at gmail.com. Hope to converse with you, man. Shoot me an email, DM me, whatever it might be, but appreciate you following along.